Did you know that the average human being, are you ready for this? The average human being spends the equivalent of 36 days a year scrolling.
Oh, gosh.
If you're not creating on this, you're not part of their 36 days.
No. Wow.
So that's interesting. There's another thing that's interesting. Studies have shown, Foresight did a study. Human beings want 86% of the buying experience to be humanless. So what does that tell you?
Humanless.
Humanless. What does that mean? They don't want to talk to a salesperson.
No.
They don't want to talk to a fundraiser.
Right.
They don't want to talk to a telemarketer. They don't want to talk to an appointment setter.
No.
What they would rather do is spend 36 days, the equivalent of, on a phone, scrolling, looking at.
I'll find it myself. How do we create content that moves from a hub and spoke, right? So it's me to you, then me to Gene, me to Jim, me to Zach, right? To a web. How do we do that?
So I think we're talking about cadence.
Okay.
Okay, so number one, if you don't have a cadence, you don't have a plan. So you're just aimlessly putting things out there. This is what I've done, but maybe your cadence would be a little bit different. But
Sure.
My cadence has been 50% inspire, 25% inform, 25% influence.
You know, what's been some advice that you kind of look back and say, you know, this was spot on even when I didn't really know it?
My dad used to say, how you do one thing is an indication of how you do everything. At 50, with 3 boys, now running a business, I look back on that and I go, gosh, I took that for granted. I stopped digging a hole and I started filling the hole and started building on that. And it's amazing how life changes. And when I say that, I don't mean by the grace of God. No matter how bad things get in your life, here's the coolest thing is that you can always stop and turn around.
Right.
You can always go back.
Welcome to The Intersection. RJ McMahon here, honor and privilege of serving as the CEO of Oak Leyden. We are bringing you a special guest today, a friend of the show, friend of mine, and really excited to share the microphone again with my pal JMO, John Morris. Welcome.
RJ, thank you for having me. This is amazing.
Who
puts this production on? This is so good.
I'm not sure. It just happens.
It just happens?
Happens once a month. We record, and this group 444 Media. I'm not sure familiar with them.
I'm not, but I've heard things.
You should check them out.
Yes,
right?
I definitely
use
will.
the Google and see what they're all about.
This is shameless. This is really shameless.
This is what we do, though. Right?
It is. Yeah. Okay.
Hey, this is how we got here, right? Well, we'll talk a little bit about that, right?
Yeah.
Kind of the journey, how we got here, right? You and me, and you know, our time on the golf course, our time behind, in front of the microphones, right? But before we get rolling, just want to thank everyone. Thank you for joining us, for liking our content, for subscribing to our YouTube channel. Continue to join and like and spread the word. Good things are happening. We're so honored and blessed with the guests that we've been able to invite and join us on our show. Spread the word. We're about the intersection, truly. Business, philanthropy, and civic coming together to improve the world. So that's why you're here today.
It's a beautiful thing. And by the way, you are approaching 200,000 views to your channel.
Wow.
You're now on Spotify as well.
How about
so
that?
So that's going to crank up. We went back and we put all the previous episodes on Spotify.
So great.
So that's just going to keep picking up. By the way, like the guests that you are booking on this show, minus me, sorry about that. The guests that you're booking on this show are absolutely outstanding. They're phenomenal.
So excited.
It's a real joy to listen to such diverse perspective and industries, and the range of knowledge that you're bringing on the show truly is a reflection of that intersection, because you're bringing industry together with philanthropy.
Right.
It's really brilliant.
You know, it started from conversations that you, me, and our fellow camaraderie, comrade Jim Michael, right? That, you know, what should this be all about?
Sure.
And you know, truly, and it's, you know, it is a physical intersection also because of where we're located here in Oak Park, right? We're on a corner, we're at an intersection, and it's this idea of truly business, philanthropy, and civic coming together.
Can we throw this to Jim that he came up with the name?
Should we?
We should.
Do we need to throw it to
I
him?
don't know, maybe. Yeah, let's throw it to him.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Nice job, Jim.
Nice job,
well
Jim.
Done.
Well done.
All in a day's work, gentlemen.
Sorry, he said something we couldn't really make it out.
I think he said, no, you guys came up with it. Yeah. Anyways.
Anyway, but we digress.
We do. I don't know what that means, but I'll go with you.
But great to be back on the microphone with you. So, we were joking before we started rolling that you're the blessing and the curse, right? So this is how this all got started. Yeah. And for those that are enjoying what we're putting out there, we can thank John. Yeah. For those that are like, stop talking, mainly my kids and my family members, right? That you are the curse,
they
right?
Start to get a little bit annoyed by you. I will apologize to all of my clients because I have pushed them into putting themselves out there, and I'm sorry. Right. I'm sorry that you have to get so much attention on you. Right? Sorry, not sorry.
Right, exactly. Because ultimately, this is what we should be doing, right? Really? We should be promoting each other. We should be really seeking ways to connect with folks, right? And so talk a little bit about kind of your journey and how you viewed this medium and how you viewed shining a spotlight on others to promote themselves that ended up really helping move the needle in many different areas.
So I'm kind of the opposite of most small to mid-sized business owners in that I am not a technical expert. You take an electrician, they became a journeyman, they learned the field, and then they kind of had to figure out the business part as they went. They had to figure out how to promote themselves, market, lead people, all of those different things. But they always had the technical element to fall back on. I'm the exact opposite. I have learned the technical element as I've gone, and I've surrounded myself by people that are experts in that. But where I really came from is I'm a lifelong sales business development person, right? So I started off in my 20s going door to door in Chicago, selling paintball tickets and cruise tickets on the river, and
That's you.
That was it. You. I mean, I'm knocking on doors and they're like, "Can't you read? It says no soliciting." I'm like, "What if I told you I can't read?"
Right.
And they kind of would like look at me like it was a great way to just kind of kill that objection.
Right.
And then I would just go into something like, "Hey, if what I say to you in the next 2 to 3 minutes makes brilliant sense, we'll keep talking. If not, I'm a gentleman. We'll part as friends." That became a line that I used in my 20s that I use now at 50. In really reaching out to people, because the reality is like people don't have time, and I need them to understand that I'm going to deliver some message to you, and if you're not interested in it, I'm not going to sit there and chase you around, right? So let's just get down to it, and we'll part as friends if it doesn't work out. So I started off in business development. I was selling small to mid-sized business owners on a business analysis and consulting. That was my first gig. What they would essentially do is they would give you a stack of leads, and here was the funny thing is, right, the leads were on 3 carbon paper. So the guy down the line from me had the white copy. I had the pink copy, and a lady sitting over here had the yellow copy. We're all calling the same client at different
canary,
times. Oh my god!
Oh,
canary, is it canary?
It's canary. It's not yellow.
Yeah. Well, the yellow ones were the worst because you couldn't read them. So you're really
by
like
that
trying.
Point,
you're calling people Jane. Their name was John.
It's carbonless, right? So you got to really press hard.
So they give you this stack of leads, and I'd pound the phone. So my first day, I got in at about 6:30 in the morning. I was wearing the same exact thing that I wore the day before at the interview because I had one tie.
There you go.
I got the job. I called my mom up. I'm like, I have no clothes. She's like, go to TJ Maxx, throw it on the credit card. So I did, but I was like, you know what? Let's just roll with the same outfit. So there was some giggles.
It worked the first day.
Got there at 6:30 in the morning, and I pounded the phone. I think I made 300 cold calls. I was told probably about 200 of those calls that my mom wore army boots to jump off a bridge, that I should probably play on a highway. Lay down on a railroad track.
Good love. You're
a lot
love.
of people. Apparently, they have been called a lot. But I finally got to a company called South San Francisco Architecture, and I went through my presentation. The gentleman said to me, son, I have no idea what you're talking about, but you sound like a really nice young man, so I'll move forward. So I made my first sale my first day, and the way that our business model was set up, I got paid the next day.
Wow.
I was just like hooked at that point, like, oh my gosh. So you're telling me if I call 300 people and I just get one to say yes, I made $600.
Boom.
In a day. So I was like, this is brilliant. So that's where the journey started. And by 24, I was managing the Atlantic Coast region of the company. I had 50 straight commission salespeople. And we broke the weekly record. We broke the yearly record. And I just progressed. So I went through this business development journey, and then I landed at a branding and promotional product company. And so I took those sales skills as a sales manager and turned into the director of sales, and we grew significantly. But 2019, I started to develop a team underneath me. And these guys and gals were so much better than me that I kind of almost worked myself out of a job, which was great and terrible because I was panicking. I'm like, wait a minute, I've delegated all this stuff. They're doing it better. Like, how do I contribute to the company at this point?
Yeah, so, where are you adding value at that point? Right?
I'm like, you can only cheerlead so much, you know. So I started messing around on LinkedIn. And what I came to find out was I could take the phone and instead of dialing it, I could turn it around and talk into it.
Whoa.
And I could essentially, in 30 seconds to a minute and a half, explain a portion of what it is that we do, why we do it, what our greater purpose is, the energy that we have, the culture that is happening at the organization, the current events that are going on. And I could just pick a topic every single day and essentially just talk into the phone for 30. And here's the cool part. If I cold call somebody and I screw up my pitch, pretty much just have to hang up and be like, sorry, that was terrible. You'll never buy from me. Call over.
Right.
If I turn the phone around and talk into it and I don't like it, I delete it and I do it again. And I could do that 50 times until I do the one where I like it. Because if I like it, there's a strong chance that my energy transferred well, which means that likely the market will like it. So in 2019, I started doing these Did You Know videos. And I would just go down to the screen print machines and I go, did you know that we could screen print 10,000 prints in 4 days? You know, just weird. Have you ever seen an embroidery machine do 1,000 hats in an hour? Right? So I would do this. And I would start to post these clips, just little Did You Knows. And all of a sudden, my following just kind of picked up. And I started getting DMs where people went, hey, I saw that you could do hats. Can you do T-shirts? And I'm like, of course we can do T-shirts. And they're like, well, we need 500 by Friday. Well, a 25-second video just landed me a $10,000 sale. So I'm like, wait a minute here. I didn't have to be told no 9 million times. I didn't have to get beat up. I didn't have to leave voicemails for a living.
Didn't take 300 calls.
Didn't take 300 calls. I could essentially be creative, and I could use my business development skills that I learned, the art of communication, of leaning in and looking in. I could use all those things that I had honed in on and developed right here. And so then, boom, COVID hits, and so we're cruising. We're up 30%, record year the year before in 2018, 2019. We're up 40% over that. We get into 2020, we're up 40% over the 40% year. I mean, we are just cranking. And then everything just comes to a screeching halt. So we have to adjust what we're going to offer because now all of a sudden all the events stopped, all the marketing stopped, people cut all that. But what they needed was PPE. So luckily our CEOs were forward-thinking enough and smart enough to create channels for PPE to come in from Mexico and China and all these different places. So now we called up all of the clients that we were doing marketing for, and we essentially said, hey, look, we know that you're not going to do an event. We also know you still need to promote your brand. We also know that you want to protect your employees. So what if we did branded face covers? What if we did branded hand sanitizer? What if there was this thing that was going on where there was these keys that would open up door handles? I mean, this was early on in the process. We were all freaking out completely, right?
Washing boxes,
right?
Doing all of that, right?
Just insane. But you know, you had to do that.
We didn't know what we were up against.
We were going to soften the curve, if you recall. It was going to take 2 weeks,
right? How'd that work?
Yeah, it didn't take 2 weeks. So we made that adjustment and opened up some channels. And here's the cool part: I was starting to court some folks about podcasting. And one of the folks that I was talking to was the president of sales at the third largest insurance broker in the United States. We had to pause that part because we couldn't bring people in to record a podcast.
Right.
But when I reached out, he kind of stiff-armed me. He's like, dude, everything stopped. Like, don't even reach out to me. I said, whoa, wait a minute. So now back to the cold calling again. So wait a minute. You're going to need PPE. And he's like, yeah.
Yeah.
So I said, what if we changed your total online store and filled it with PPE? And he's like, hold on a second. So he gets me on with the head of procurement, and we overnight switched out their stuff and put the product on. Again, our CEO was brilliant, forward-thinking, did a great job of that. But what that did was it opened up a bigger conversation and landed a contract. So now I'm going, wait a minute. So the content creation created a personal brand, promoted my company brand, opened up a channel, allowed me to promote that we had shifted gears as an organization. We weren't just shutting down and stopping like a lot of brands were. we were one of the first to switch over. And now it's landed a conversation where somebody wanted to stiff arm me for 8 months and not even have the conversation. And now they're saying, can you do it now? I'm like, whoa, this is cool. So in that meantime, I'm pitching.
Because that's what you do.
Yeah. So I'm pitching internally, we should have a podcast because we need to bring on our current guests to talk about the phenomenal things we're doing because we're working with elite brands. So why not have them come on and promote their brand, but then talk about the fact that
the impact that you guys are making.
So they're partnering with us. So now I got testimonials. And then I wanted to bring on prospective clients because I felt like I always had this feeling like if I treat you like a client before you're a client, the likelihood that you become a client just increased significantly. Right. I mean, it just goes up significantly. My theory was if I give, I almost put you in a position where whether you're somebody who is by nature innately a believer of reciprocity,
right,
or it's something that I have to kind of massage, it's going to happen. So what would happen was the prospective clients would either become advocates, fans, promoters, evangelists, or they would introduce us to somebody within their brand that would eventually buy, or they would buy from us.
Right.
And so that kind of took off. So I keep pitching the podcast idea and kind of a loose cannon. So they're like, I don't know. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. I don't know. That kind of sounded a little Trumpish, didn't it? Right. Sorry about that. Like, oh, I don't know. I don't know.
Do we really want to put you on a microphone?
Yeah,
right?
No. Yeah, exactly. So I come in one day and on my desk is 4 cameras, tripods, a Rodecaster. I'm like, wow. So I kind of
somebody heard me.
I like ran to their office. I'm like, are you sure? They're like, go for it. So we started the first podcast and it just turned into kind of an energy around the brand. And I had no expectations, very low expectations. We're going to have fun with it. I thought it was a different way to promote the brand. I was seeing other people do it. Gary Rabine was one of the first people that I saw do it. He had the Ditch Digger podcast, Rabine, paving. Gary ended up running for governor of the state of Illinois. I was a big follower of him. I reached out to him and I was like, hey, I'm so inspired by your podcast. And he gave me a few tips. And Dale Dupree, I was always following Dale Dupree because he was very influential on LinkedIn and putting out podcasts. Right. So I was seeing these other people do this. And I'm like, you know what? I think I can do that.
Right.
First interview was I interviewed the CEOs of our company. We didn't air it. We brought in our spouses and we had a party and
fun.
We made it only an internal podcast for the team just to motivate the team. And the team was like applauding and clapping. And I'm like, okay,
maybe there's something here.
Yeah, this is cool. Went through the process of building that. It went to top 5% globally for business and marketing. Couldn't believe that.
Right.
Wasn't that good of a podcast. But what I learned was if you stay with it, if you keep going, it will create momentum. So the hardest part for people podcasting is they get 6, 7, 8 episodes in and they get a total of 300 views. Mm-hmm. And they go, what the hell am I doing this for?
Right.
But then it's like the compounding interest they talk about in wealth management. Like you stay with it and next thing you know, the 300 turns into 2,000, the 2,000 turns into 20,000. It just kind of keeps going. And so I kind of had that amazing opportunity to really understand the structure of it and create the model. And one thing that I was really good at was we released an episode the same time every Thursday, come rain or shine, no matter what. An episode went out, the clips went out, the promotion went out, and I pushed it. And there was always a guest booked.
And it was a weekly podcast in those days,
podcast,
right?
Yeah. I ended up leaving there. Bit of a life crisis. We're not going to get into that because I've talked about it on way too many podcasts. And if you want to know my story, it's all over every social media channel. And I'm kind of sick of telling it because now we're going to talk about the future.
There we go.
I went to another company. Turns out that owner was sold us products. We were selling our promotional products to them, and he was a fan of the content.
There you go.
So I see him at a networking event. He goes, hey, can you do for me what you did for them? So I built another podcast. Now, one time in a row is luck. And you don't know what the hell you have.
Right.
2 times you go, wait a minute, it worked again.
Maybe there's something here.
Yes. So then I launched the Golf with JMO show, and then it kind of just was like, wait a minute, I think I got this model figured out. And from there, 444 Media was born. And a few, clients that I had on the Golf with JMO show became clients. And the rest is history. We went from in June of last year, 0 revenue, no money, like to my name.
Zero.
Like 0 money to my name because like every paycheck was going to feeding 3 kids, paying a mortgage, and chipping away a debt that I had accumulated in a rut that I had gotten into. So 0 money. and now we're up to 15 podcasts and flourishing. And I just am completely blessed. And you are one of the first that trusted me. So I'm eternally grateful to you.
I love hearing that story, right? And I've heard it, once or twice before, probably.
Yeah. Sorry, it was a little long-winded. Sorry,
no,
Jim.
Jim,
wake up.
It's energizing, right? And it really shines a light on a couple of things from my perspective. One is it shines a light on who you are, right? And the dogged determination that you have, right, to just go and be and do, right? So that's way up on top, right? And then this idea of I'm going to keep working at my craft. And I don't really know maybe what that craft is other than I'm going in that direction. And this is going to help kind of shape and form that. And you just kept going. And you that leap of faith, you kept leaping and you had the faith to keep going, right? And then, just who you are and just it's the warmth. It's you're present in the conversation. You're present in the movement. And I know that everyone feels that around you. So Thank you. Thank you for you and for doing this.
Thanks, RJ. You know what's amazing is when you keep digging a hole, the best way to get out of that hole is to stop digging. I stopped digging a hole and I started filling the hole and started building on that. And it's amazing how life changes. And when I say that, I don't mean business-wise. I mean life-wise. I mean faith-wise. I mean relationship-wise. I mean just doing the right thing, which I had made so many bad choices in my life, and I'm open to having that conversation. Although I don't think we have enough time, but I made so many.
We don't.
Yeah, no, we don't. Made so many bad choices that, by the grace of God, no matter how bad things get in your life, here's the coolest thing: is that you can always stop and turn around.
Right.
You can always go back.
Right.
You can't fix the mess ups that you made. Those live forever, but what you can do is double down on the good that you do.
Right.
And that's what I'm trying to do right now.
Right. That's great. And I've joked with a few people recently, just can I get a 20-second timeout? Right.
Mm-hmm.
And just for a quick reset. Right. And we should have that. Hoops does it. Right. Why can't we just do that throughout kind of our time together? Right.
We're both believers in Jesus. Right.
Yes, we are.
So it's amazing when you are leading a life that is so far from Christ, and then you find Christ, and He's accepting of you to come back, and you establish a relationship with Him, and you talk to Him daily. That is the 20-second timeout.
There you go.
That's actually
your reset.
Full timeout.
That's a full timeout.
It might be halftime. There's a halftime speech. I mean,
you're getting everything.
Jesus is coming down. He's like, look, we're not running the pick and roll properly, right? He's like, we're going to, he comes down and he just kind of takes the clipboard and he draws up some plays. Somebody asked me the other day, like, what are you doing? Like, what's the plan? I said, I'm just following the breadcrumbs, man. I'm following the downloads. I look up, I journal, I pray. I talk to God. I talk to Him before I sleep. I talk to Him on the drive over. I talk to Him constantly. And then I just wait. For Him to give me the download. And then I go, okay, that's really what you want me to do?
Right.
Okay, fine. I'll tell RJ he should do a podcast. And so you're welcome.
And he'll listen to me?
Yeah, he'll listen. He's like, just trust me, he'll listen.
Right.
So
he's a knucklehead. He'll listen.
Yeah, he will. Yeah. Jesus loves knuckleheads. His 12 disciples were knuckleheads.
Thank goodness. They were.
So,
they were, right?
Yeah.
You know the old joke, and I might have shared this on the podcast earlier. You know how we know Jesus was Irish?
How?
He lived with his mom until he was in his 30s. Right? He had 12 drinking buddies, and his mom thought he was God.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. Well, it turns out I'm not Irish then, because my parents told me don't come home at 18, and the only thing that the only thing I had was drinking buddies. So yeah, she definitely
one of those boxes.
I was in there, one of three.
Close,
Yeah.
Exactly, right? There's something of proximity. We've talked about that before, right? Absolutely,
like in the universe, not really around the corner.
Right. But we're here together.
We are
right?
here.
Exactly. So couldn't be happier to have you as a partner, as someone, as we've joked before. And, I'm happy to be in your orbit, my friend, right? So, so where do we go from here, right? So I love Golf with JMO, right? Yep. And so is that season kind of, we're recording this episode in May, right? And so golf season, it's PGA time, right? So, where are you with that?
So what I'm doing right now, as most Chicagoans would do, is I'm trying to figure out my swing again and trying to shake off the frostbite. So recordings will start probably in a couple weeks.
Okay.
Ideally, we'll do about 26 episodes this week. If I'm being honest, some of the episodes that we did were very much business centric. A lot of the recording was about what was happening in the golf cart. I've gotten a lot of feedback that people want more of the entertainment part.
Oh, interesting.
And they want more of the golf part, and they want more about less in the cart, more on the course, more shots, different angles, looser, less produced. So I'm going to see if we can kind of mix that up a little bit so that it's a little bit more on the course. We're going to add cameras, drone, of course, back. We got it right towards the last 2 episodes, Zach, yeah? We got it right where we had more camera angles. Zach is by the way, it's props to Zach here. Zach just won new director of the year for the Milwaukee Film Fest for a horror film that he did. What's the name of that so people can watch it?
Don't Call Me Baby.
Don't Call Me Baby. Is that the name of it, or is that what you're saying to me right now?
18 and up.
18 and up, Don't Call Me Baby. So a horror film, 20 minutes long, absolute powerhouse, but he's got the beautiful eye, right? I'm a business development guy, man. I'm straight down the line. I'm all power. I have no finesse whatsoever. So I
think those that are watching understand that there's not a lot of finesse on this side.
I don't think much. I just kind of do go.
Just go.
But Zach is getting, like, when I'm putting my glove on, he's getting a slow motion of the glove, getting, like, little beautiful things. He's getting the guest shoe. Like one of our guests, Richie Marrero from 360 Benefits was on. Great
fan.
stick.
Big fan.
Great guy. Phenomenal guy. And also founder of Pigeon Golf. So he comes on. He's got these amazing Air Jordan golf shoes. And so Zach was like, oh, I got to get a shot of those. A little bit more beautified. We then have added shot tracers. And I've had more conversations with more courses that are open to us coming out, promoting the course.
Right.
And so not only will we promote business leaders and so on, like yourself coming on the show, but I also have kind of entered into the golf influencer community. And so there will be some really good golf influencers coming on where instead of us doing a 2-man scramble, it might be me versus them, 1v1s, that kind of stuff. I'm also going to do some stuff where I'm going to play the tips of the tee box and see how low I can shoot. I'll probably do a couple of episodes where I go to the very front tees and see how low I can shoot. I did one of those.
I'll join you for one of those.
Yeah, those are fun. I did one of those last year at Bose. Pretty cool. Shot a 63 from the very front tips, which is the lowest I've ever shot, but it also was like 5,000 yards.
I was going to say,
like,
it's
hitting 3-iron to par 4s, which is pretty cool. So,
well, you've got that.
It's fun. It's fun. What's interesting about it is, like, who says what content should be? Who says?
I think the viewers, right?
The viewers. And quite honestly, the creator decides, and whether or not people enjoy it or not. I don't do it for the vanity metrics. I mean, it would be nice to go viral. Certainly, who doesn't want that type of appreciation from people out in the marketplace, the people in the world to kind of pat you on the back? But that's not really why I'm doing it. I'm doing it more because I want to promote the people that are around me, but I'm also doing it because of the expression it gives me. It gives me an opportunity in a creative way to entertain you while delivering my message, which is the whole point of this. It's really, really hard to call somebody up and ask them for 15, 20 minutes of their precious time. The most precious commodity we have. We cannot get it back.
No.
Time is all, like...
It's finite.
It's finite. You're not going to live forever. I hate to tell you that. So when you call up a perfect stranger and you ask them for 15, 20, 30 minutes of their time to get a cup of coffee, it seems gracious, but they're self-fulfilling. What's in it for them?
Right.
There's nothing in it for them to hear your sales pitch.
No.
I don't care how good the coffee is. So there is something in it for them that they're going to be on video. They're going to express their brand message. They're going to get a chance to shine. They're going to have a chance to express themselves in a different way than normally they would. Their brand logo is going to be seen thousands and thousands of times. That's a much easier phone call, which is why the intersection works too, because it's hard for you to reach out to people and go, look, Oak Leyden is brilliant. We take care of adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities. We provide them with housing. We provide them with services. We provide them, like, could you please donate to us? That's a tough call. I give you guys a lot of props for that call. That's very difficult. It isn't hard to call somebody and say, could we have you on for an hour to promote your brand and talk about the amazing work that you're doing? And then in that conversation, while production is getting set up and so on, they're getting to know you and see the look in your eye. And anyone who's around you for 3 minutes can feel your heart, can feel your energy, can feel your warmth, can feel your intention. You can't do that through a phone. It's really
tough.
hard.
It's really hard.
But when somebody comes in here and meets the people and has a chance to just be in your presence, there is a chance that bleeds enough into them that you're memorable. Now, what ends up happening then is that podcast is produced and the clip after clip after clip after clip, they're promoted for 3, 4, 5 weeks. They see their face. They're staying front of mind. So when you have an event like Mighty Oak, which is a massive success, when you have an event like that, or you have your golf tournament coming up that you need to raise awareness and attention and so on for Oak Leyden, but by promoting their brand, it's a lot easier to get people to rally around that because there was something in it for them. There was with them.
Absolutely. And it's an opportunity. It's also, it's really, we're blessed to be on this side of the microphone, right? And to have the opportunity to have wonderful conversations with folks that as you said early on, we've been blessed with some really interesting guests, right? And it's really cool to be able to share that outside of just this conversation, right? And to be able to put it out there because, not everyone has that opportunity to have a conversation with Pete Hassan or Dave Ryan or, Laura Anderson or whomever it may be.
Is that Kevin Willer?
Kevin Willer,
oh
right?
Oh my gosh. Brilliant.
It's so interesting and brilliant. And that's where the curiosity comes in that, we have that innate ability and an innate, perspective to keep asking, right? And to be curious and to hear from folks, that's kind of the special sauce in my mind.
You want to know what's crazy is I had never met Kevin. And I had friends from high school that are in the financial services or commercial property management or property sales, or in venture capital from high school reach out to me and go, dude, so cool you had a chance to collaborate with Kevin Willer. And I'm like, in no other case would I have gotten that type of a reach out.
Right.
They wouldn't have known that I booked a 15-minute appointment with Kevin to present my services to him over a cup of coffee.
Right.
But they knew that I collaborated with him because they knew that 444 Media produced The Intersection and you hosted a lovely, absolutely phenomenal conversation. And they saw that. So I had friends from high school be like, dude, what is up with The Intersection? You had Kevin Willer on. And guess what they did? Because he was on, because they saw that episode, they were interested. So you know what they did? They went in the rabbit hole to see who else was on. So when you have one guest on that's great, it opens up the conversation for all the other guests that you previously had on that may not have gotten attention. So now Kevin Willer's following came to see him.
Right.
But then they saw you. And then they went, whoa, that was really good, the two of them. Who else was on? So now Pete Hassan got seen because of Kevin Willer's following, right? And this is how this works. It's like one following connects to another following, connects to another following, and it kind of creates this energy around the brand because you are the nucleus that is bringing that to the marketplace.
It's pretty cool, right?
It's fun.
And we're fortunate to have that opportunity, right?
It's way better than cold calling.
Jump on board, gang, right? This is really good.
By the way, salespeople, keep cold calling. It's part of your KPIs. You have to do it, and your manager's being held accountable to you doing it, so please keep doing it. Phone calls will never die. You have to do them. But if you aren't taking this thing and flipping it around an hour a day and making videos and posting them on LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, everywhere, if you're not turning this around in collaboration or in parallel to your phone calls, your email blasts, what marketing's doing. If you're not doing the whole picture, you're missing a piece. You will never fully hit your budget. You will never fully excel. And by the way, you also, by doing that, are creating your own personal brand. At some point, your company, I hate to say this, at some point, but I will. I hate to say this, but I will. At some point, your company is going to slight you. You are going to be worth more than they are willing to pay you. And if you have a personal brand, you have leverage. If you don't have a personal brand, you have to start this boulder, this engine. You have to you have to push
You're
out
Sisyphus,
of it because
right?
you're
pushing
stuck.
the boulder
You've been
up
in the same job for 10 years and you're not exposed to other things.
Right.
You're associated only with that brand in that job. If you have a personal brand, you have thought leadership. You have the ability to articulate your message to multiple people. You can transfer energy to the marketplace, people that are not even willing to buy from you. There might be somebody who's out there who's a recruiter who goes, we need people like that guy. And you were never on their radar until you picked this up and you turned it around and you spoke into it. Not like this. This is good, but like this is better. And if you do both, you dominate.
Boom. Masterclass right there, folks. Tag that. Boom.
Tag it.
Do it. Make it happen, right? This is because it can't just be a one-trick pony, right?
No.
And I think that's what we've learned over time, right? That we have to keep adjusting and shift when needed, but also play to our strengths, right? And just keep sending that same message out there.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
How many phone calls did you make last night between 8 and 10 o'clock?
0.
Okay. How much time did you spend on this between 8 and 10 o'clock last night?
Maybe about 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Okay, so 15 minutes is better than no phone calls, right?
True.
What were you doing in that 15 minutes on this?
Yeah, just bad scrolling.
Bad scrolling. And who was on that when you were scrolling?
I don't know.
Different person. You don't know.
Exactly. Nothing registered.
Several
right?
Different personalities.
Absolutely.
You scrolled past some funny content.
Right.
Grandma falling down the stairs, a dog doing something funny, a baby doing something cute, Gary V on there saying that you should create content, some basketball clips, LeBron losing again, all kinds of stuff like that. So in that 15 minutes you scrolled through. So imagine that there is the population of people that are spending 2 hours, 3 hours. Did you know that the average human being, are you ready for this? The average human being spends the equivalent of 36 days a year scrolling.
Oh, gosh.
If you're not creating on this, you're not part of their 36 days.
No. Wow.
So that's interesting. There's another thing that's interesting. Studies have shown, Foresight did a study. Human beings want 86% of the buying experience to be humanless. So what does that tell you? Humanless. What does that mean? They don't want to talk to a salesperson.
No.
They don't want to talk to a fundraiser.
Right.
They don't want to talk to a telemarketer. They don't want to talk to an appointment setter.
No.
What they would rather do is spend 36 days, the equivalent of, on a phone, scrolling, looking at.
I'll find it myself. Right?
If you're not there,
how do we create content that moves from a hub and spoke, right? So it's me to you, then me to Gene, me to Jim, me to Zach, right? To a web. How do we do that?
Well, elaborate on what you mean by to a web.
You know, because right now the connection point from my hub to your spoke or you know, kind of it's a one back and forth, right? How do we create ways that kind of it's supported not just hub and spoke, but as a web, right? That the connections are broader. It's not one-to-one, one-to-one, one-to-one. It's actually 1 to 3, 3 to 4, 5 to 6, 1 to 3, 1 to 7, 1 to 8.
So I think we're talking about cadence.
Okay.
So number one, if you don't have a cadence, you don't have a plan. So you're just aimlessly putting things out there. And so
kind of hoping for the best.
Yeah.
Right.
So the cadence should probably start with this. And this is what I've done, but maybe your cadence would be a little bit different. But my cadence has been 50% inspire, 25% inform, 25% influence. The reason being is if you spend 80% of your time influencing, meaning call to action. Hey, we've got an event coming up. Click at the link below. If you do that, go to our website.
Right.
Hey, here's the products that we sell. If you buy this, like if you do that, eventually
that's the Fast Eddie commercial, right? Remember
Brown's,
the Fast Eddie? Right.
Yeah. You're Charlie Brown's teacher at some point.
Wah.
Okay, promoting it and inform. Like how many posts can you do telling me about your products and services? And by the way, think of the outreach call, the cold call. When I reach out to you and you don't answer and I leave a voicemail, I now just gave you a reason to know what we do and to screen me on the next one.
Right.
So if all of my content is inform, hey, we manufacture product XYZ123, or hey, we wholesale product XYZ, like eventually I go, compartmentalize.
Gotcha.
That company does that. Don't need to pay attention anymore. But if 50% of my content is inspire, I tell you about the adversity that I've overcome. I tell you about my true beliefs. I introduce you to my deceased father and how he impacted me in my life and why I am who I am because of the relationship I have with him.
Right.
Who can't relate to that? So I'm relatable. I can't relate to you manufacturing widgets.
No.
I don't know what that means. And by the way, I'm not even a buyer of widgets. But if you did a post about the relationship that you had with your boss, the relationship that you had with Christ, the way that you overcame some tremendous adversity, and you did 6 things, and these 6 things have now changed your life. The way that you journal, the way that you plan, the way that you prepare, how you create wishes and turn them into I am statements, and how you took that personally and you turned it into a brand mission, because your brand should have an I am statement or a we are statement. Like, this is our unique differentiator. Like, I can get inspired by that. I may never buy from you. I may never need your product or service, but I can fall in love with you because we think alike.
Right.
Or I want to be like you. So I follow you because I want to be like you. So now I bump into somebody and they do need widgets. And they go, oh man, well, hey, what are you working on? Oh, geez, I'm trying to figure out a company that could get me these darn widgets. I can't find anybody. And the last 3 companies I work with are not reliable. No kidding. I know a guy I follow who makes widgets. So now I become an advocate for you and I connect you because now I know your full story, right? So,
and you feel confident in making
doing
that
because I followed you for a long time.
Correct.
So now and
now I know you.
And now I'm not buying from you because of what you do. I'm buying from you because of who you are.
Right.
That happens to do what you do.
Right.
So that's where I start. I start with inspire, then I go to inform, then I go to influence. Now, if you take a week, right, 7 days, post every day. Monday, inspire. Why? Because everyone's dragging. And they need somebody to inspire them.
Need a little energy.
They're at work. Damn it. So inspire them with something. Tuesday, give them a little inform. Got an event coming up. If you could join us, it'd be great. Link in the comments below. If you want to join, bring a friend. You'll get a discount, whatever. Do a little inform. Go back to inspire on Wednesday. Then go to influence on Thursday. And you just kind of weave this cadence in. Then what you want to do is if you have a medium like this where you're creating a podcast, you should not just put a clip out every single day. And if you do put a clip out, whatever episode that you have, you should promote that. But then you should go back in the archives and pull old episodes because you want the guest that was on 6 weeks ago to remember the experience. So you tag them, you promote them. Boy, I'm giving a lot of secret sauce here.
Right.
All right, so by doing this now, you're creating this cadence. You're bringing in different guests. Then there should be pictures. Then there should be a post that is written about the recent visit you had with grandma. Because we can all relate to that.
Right.
And by the way, you're going, why would I post that on LinkedIn? I don't know, because everyone on LinkedIn is a human. So we all have these relationships. Like, I cannot relate to what a manufacturing plant does. I've never manufactured anything in my life. I have no idea how it works, but I'm captivated by it if you show me the machinery working every once in a while, but that's not going to move the needle.
No.
So the way that you're doing this is you're creating a cadence. Then you're getting into tagging the right people to pay attention, and then the reciprocity part. Promoting yourself, you have to do.
Right.
But if you only promote yourself, Charlie Brown's teacher again,
wah, wah,
you're
wah,
arrogant.
wah. Right.
You're conceited. You're over the top.
Why am I even joining you if you're just talking about yourself?
Another
right?
thing about you. So what I have felt is if 80% of the content that I put out is telling the story of someone else, there's a strong likelihood that that someone else feels that gratitude, thinks that's gracious, and by the way, they might be talking about me in rooms I'm not in. And so what you're really trying to do is become a multi. So let's go back to the web thing.
Right, right.
I don't know about the web thing. What I'm trying to do is be a multiplier.
I love it.
And by being a multiplier, what I want to do is I want to open doors, kick doors down, keep doors open, bring people together, introduce people to start working together. You know what's one of the coolest things that you could do on LinkedIn is you could send a DM introducing 2 people together, not send a DM saying, hey, I'd love to sit down with you and have a coffee to present my services. How about say, hey, look, RJ, you're a super successful CEO. And Pete Hassan, you're also a super successful CEO. You're both in my network. You should know each other.
Boom.
Now you guys go and hit it off. Who introduced you?
This guy.
I'm now the multiplier.
Right.
So when you guys both see success from each other, you end up collaborating. Something great comes of it. I brought you together.
Right.
So now when I go, man, hey, I'm really looking for a guest. Hey, I'm looking for an introduction. Hey, can you do this? You're not going to argue with me.
Right.
You're not gonna even think twice. You're gonna go, hey,
Absolutely.
This is brilliant. Let me do this. You did it for me.
Right.
Now, when that happens, and I've taught you maybe something on LinkedIn that maybe you should do. Now, all of a sudden, if I do that for 12 people a week, the likelihood is I'll have 50 people do that for me. Because reciprocity works. And if you're a multiplier, it multiplies.
Right. It's great.
That's how the web works.
I like it. That's exactly where that was what I was hoping to hear.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Well done. Well done, you. Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I couldn't get any answers right on a test. My whole college career. Not one. I mean, literally not one. My dad asked me if I cheated off of an animal on my ACTs.
Wow.
And
that's high praise.
And I was proud of that. But I got that one right. So
and here you sit.
Here I
right?
sit.
Exactly.
Dad.
Aren't we fortunate?
Yeah,
right.
There you go.
Exactly. So as we wrap up today, right, and just really excited to be together as we always are once a month to do these. And generally, we're not sitting with each other. You're on the other side of the camera. But and you've been a master class, right? You've shined a light on so much for folks, right? And it just really great content. So please watch and listen and tag and like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. But as a parting shot, what's been some advice that you kind of look back and say, this was spot on even when I didn't really know it.
I'm gonna get a knot in my throat. Tomorrow's garbage day. Wow, I don't know why that hit me. My dad used to say, how you do one thing is an indication of how you do everything. So when I didn't tie the garbage bag properly, there was a conversation. And I walked away from those conversations like, what a jerk. Like, come on. It's just a garbage bag. Like, come on. Are you kidding me?
Right.
Now I look back. The man shaved every single day. You never saw him with stubble. The man's pleats in his pants could have cut butter. He was dressed, his shirt was always tucked in. His loafers were perfect. The penny was perfectly sent. He's from, he's from Maryland, so they wore Docksiders, right? The penny in the Docksiders was perfectly placed. His car, he could drive it for 10 years. When he turned it in, they asked if he ever drove it. It was perfect. At 50, with 3 boys, now running a business, I look back on that and I go, gosh, I took that for granted. I didn't understand it. Now I do. Every detail matters.
Right.
Every single little detail. How you look somebody in the eye when you talk to them matters. Your handshake matters. Now, you might look at me right now in this and you go, well, what is that presence? Well, I guess I'll go to the Allen Iverson. It took as much time for me to put this together as my dad putting together his trousers,
right.
His plaid trousers that was his thing. This is my look, but this is put together. There's intention to it. So I think what he was trying to teach me a long time ago was like, don't shortcut. There's an intention to everything, which is why I'm so hell-bent on every single CEO leading their brand from the front. And the way that you lead your brand through the front, if you want your organization, your employees to become brand champions, to represent your brand on a deeper level than products and services and price, which is a race to the bottom. Somebody's always going to have a better mousetrap. Somebody's always going to have a better mousetrap and then figure out how to do it at a lower price. It's a race to the bottom. if your brand is predicated solely on that, you're missing a huge portion and you're missing the intention. CEOs need to get on mic. They need to get on camera. They need to get out and present. They need to speak at events. They need to encourage this, promote it, train it. They need to offer resources to their team. They need to do what you are doing, RJ, and you are a fearless, brilliant leader because you are willing to take the mic and stand up and hold the torch and say, this is how Oak Leyden does it. And every employee at the organization sees that you are leading from the front and making that commitment. They cannot argue that. So when you lead that way, it's very difficult for an employee to go, why should I do it? I know that's a deep way to get to where I'm getting to, but I look back and I think, like I said, tomorrow's garbage day, and you will be damn sure that every bag is tied tightly and properly and with intention. Right. And I'll think of my father when I do it.
It's great.
So when I look at my organization, my thing is like, and we're not perfect. We screw up all the time, but we've got a lot of moving parts. But the aim is to have the intention where we're thinking of every little single detail. And for our clients, the intention is for them to get out front and lead from the front, which is what my father was doing. He never said do this, but didn't do it.
Right.
He only said do this to the things that he was doing.
Right.
And so that would be the best advice that I think I was given. And it actually puts a knot in my throat and it tears me up. Not because my father's passed.
Right.
God, and it's 9 years. Mm-hmm. It still hurts.
Right.
Because I wish I could say that.
Right.
So you say it on the microphone, look into it in a camera, and hope that he hears it.
He does.
Right.
And he knew. Right.
So I just think that right now in this time, 2026, and moving forward, you have a chance as an organization to become your own media company. You can do it very easily. And the CEO and the C-suite should lead that.
Right.
They should be out there telling stories. And if you do that, your sales team will follow. Your marketing team will have endless content. They'll be so grateful that you are out front producing and giving them content, because you know how hard it is every day for a social media manager to come in and think of what to post? It is so freaking hard to keep that cadence going and to come up with stuff. So if the CEO provides them 25 clips a month to weave into the cadence, and it's all on brand, it's all on point, it's all messaging, and then on top of that, on their own personal channels, running parallel with the company channels, they're putting content out to support that, the sales team has no choice but to look at that and go, oh my gosh, I probably should be doing that.
Right. That's how I leverage.
And that's how you multiply.
Boom.
That's my message.
There we go. Well, thank you, John.
Thank you, RJ.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you, playing through it, right? We're playing through it, and you're certainly playing through it right now. So great job, and thanks for just looking back and grabbing that nugget, because that's something we all can take and incorporate in. So thank you for that.
I appreciate it very much. Can I just say one more thing?
Sure.
If you're out there and you're looking for tremendous content, and maybe you're seeing this because you know me, right? And the saying is, they come for the guests, they stay for the host. Right. You should be staying for this man, because his heart is bigger than his brain, and that's saying a lot because he's an extremely intelligent man. But you should be following this show. You should be participating in this. And if you're looking for corporate responsibility, that means that you need to be giving back to things within the community, people that are doing great work. RJ and his team are doing amazing work for the community, for people that need it. And one way that you can support, because you can support in 3 ways: time, talent, or treasure. And maybe you don't have treasure. And maybe you don't have time. You probably have all the talent in the world. But if you're just looking for a small way to have a huge impact, all you have to do is just hit the subscribe button. All you have to do is just like and comment on a few posts. All you have to do is reach out to RJ and just go, hey, I'd love to be a guest. Or, hey, I got a guest in mind that would be great on the show. If you do that, that just expands the reach, and it helps RJ and his team to get the message out to help, 50 adults? Mm-hmm. 50 adults live a life that they're happy about, that they're excited about, to be able to see things and do things and get the support. And by the way, those families know that their adult with intellectual or developmental disabilities is taken care of. Imagine the peace that gives these families. And all you have to do is just play a part in helping to spread that word. It's not really difficult to hit a like button, hit a subscribe button, but it is tremendously impactful. So I would simply ask you to do that. And I'm not asking you for a self-righteous standpoint, because I think we're pretty locked in. I'm asking for the team here at Oak Leyden, because they need to wheel their hearts with a wheelbarrow. They care. And if you care for your brand, a great way that you could support your brand is by supporting brands that are doing great things in the community. That's it.
Thanks, brother.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Really appreciate our guest, John Morris, affectionately known as JMO. Listen, like, subscribe, be part of this. The Intersection by Oak Leyden. Thank you.